Hey everybody, this is Steve. Today I'm going to be talking about my Makita equipment. I have my Makita hammer drill slash normal rotary drill. At the moment it's got the rotary drill chuck in it. I have the battery powered Makita sight radio. My 240 volt Makita 5-inch grinder, which is 720 watt. My 18 volt Makita blower. My 18 volt Makita grinder. This one is my battery drill slash hammer drill. I have my very large battery powered impact wrench. This thing's a beast. This is my battery powered skill saw or sawzall or saber saw, reciprocating saw. I don't know what you guys know this as. And my little impact wrench. Plus I got the charger to keep it all going. XS, woo! And finally, my 14-inch Makita abrasive cut-off saw. So first of all, I'll talk about my 240 volt Makita equipment. These three guys I just mentioned. My grinder here. Look, I'm a steel fabricator by trade. Here in Australia, we call ourselves Boilermaker welders. So a grinder, especially 5-inch grinder, is a very useful piece of kit. I use it all day, every day, and Makita make a very good 5-inch grinder. Yes, it's only 720 watt, this guy, but basically I'm really hard on my grinders. It's not the grinder's fault. I burn them out. I'll be lucky to get a year out of this, but I've trialed the bigger wattage grinders before, and to tell you the truth, I still burn them out within a year. So nowadays I just like to go the nice cheap small Makita grinder. It works really good, and I don't know, I rate it. I reckon it's great. Next up, I've got my Makita drill here. At the moment it's hooked up to this machine, but that's just a bit of a modification. I use it as a hammer drill a lot. I drill in 16, 20 mil holes through concrete. It's great. Even when you hit Rio bar, it just keeps going through. Can't rate it enough as a hammer drill. As a normal rotary drill, it's also fine. It's got the different functions underneath, just to swap it from the normal drill to the hammer drill. Up and down switch, trigger lock, pretty easy. Moving on, this 14-inch Makita abrasive drop saw here, that's probably the newest addition to my kit. I had bulk order of these things here to make, and I just needed something to cut this efficiently. I've only been using it for a few days. I've burnt through 4 discs on it. You can see the build up. Had a good run for those few days. It's all right for what I'm using it for. To tell you the truth, like, I'm not a great fan of these things. Just the way the jaw's set up. If you want to adjust this plate here so that you can cut a mitre, you undo that nut, swivel it round, and then you screw that up. It's got the quick release on it here, but the problem with when you're cutting a mitre, as you're screwing that up, like so, it seems to push that way, and it can actually push your mark out, so they're not great for cutting miters, but for straight cuts, they're alright. Okay, so next I'm back to my battery kit. I love this kit. I've only just bought this drill to replace the one that I just burnt out. Had it for a few years. You know, they're not indestructible. You will go through them. This here was a $300 one. It's pretty heavy duty. Hopefully I'll get a few more years out of this. Haven't even drilled a single hole with it yet, but I'm sure it's gonna work a treat. This here, the big impact wrench. I like to call it an ugga-dugga. This thing is an absolute beast. I don't know if you can see what the specs are here, or what the Newton what the kilonewtons of torque is, but I remember when I was looking for a big impact driver, I was looking at the 240 volt range, I was looking at the pneumatic range, and this Makita 18 volt battery impact wrench had a lot of torque, a lot more power than the other things that I was comparing it to, so it fit well in with my kit. I bought it and I used it all the time. This thing will shear off 16mm nuts if they're seized hard enough and you give it enough time. It's a weapon. My blower, self-explanatory, it blows, great little beast, handy, I use it all the time. Same, this here, mate, I've screwed off roofs, I've screwed off houses, I've done so much work with this thing, it doesn't fail, it just keeps going. My saber saw here, look, it's good, it doesn't get used much. It's the sort of tool that if you need it and you don't have it, you'll wish to God that you had one, but if you've got one, you won't use it that often, but when you do use it, you're thankful that you've got it as part of your kit. It's a great tool. Finally, I've got my Makita 5-inch battery grinder. I use this just as a very light duty sort of a grinder. If I'm doing little tiny cuts or a little bit of polishing, I like to whip this guy out, but generally I use my trusty 240 volt unit over there. I like to keep everything in this battery bag here. It's got lots of fittings with impact wrenches. It's got my spare batteries. Got a bag full of fittings in there. All the different things that you'll need. Handy as. I still use this carry box for the drill. It's where I keep all the different bits in it. I keep my chuck lubrication and the spare chuck. That's actually one thing that I didn't show you guys. This has got the quick release chuck on it. Super simple to use. You just, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Just flick it over to there. That little white line will go up. That'll come straight off. Thanks for checking out my video, guys. As you can see, I've got a bulk order of these things behind me and I just wanted something to do to kill the time, so I thought I'd make a quick video about my Makita products. They're great, highly recommend Makita. I'd always keep buying Makita. 5 stars, 10 out of 10. Thank you very much. Hit the like and subscribe button, guys. See you later.